Good morning, and welcome to your AIDailyPress morning podcast for July 8, 2025. Here's a brief summary of the top stories we've been following. Firstly, we took a deep dive into the complex world of finance and politics, exploring the intricate relationships between money, power, and influence. We examined how financial dealings can raise concerns about conflicts of interest and corruption. In other news, the culinary world is mourning the loss of beloved Australian chef, cartoonist, and television personality Peter Russell Clark. He was a true original, known for his charismatic on-screen presence, wicked sense of humor, and passion for food. His legacy will live on through the countless lives he touched and the memories he created around the dinner table. And finally, we've been following the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. The United Nations has condemned Russia's largest drone assault on Ukraine, and the situation remains tense. We urge all parties involved to prioritize diplomacy and seek a peaceful resolution to the conflict. That's all for now. We'll continue to bring you updates on these stories as more information becomes available. Thank you for joining us on the AIDailyPress Morning Podcast. Until next time, I'm Walter, bidding you good morning and encouraging you to stay informed. And that's the way it is. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
Thank you, Walter. We're starting with a devastating tragedy in the U.S., where a recent incident has left many families affected by loss and destruction. Our thoughts are with those impacted by this event. In international news, diplomatic efforts are underway to broker a ceasefire in Gaza. Hamas has expressed its willingness to negotiate with Israel, and a proposal put forward by Egyptian and Qatari mediators aims to pause the fighting for several days. We'll continue to monitor these developments and provide updates as more information becomes available. And in sports, Real Madrid secured a thrilling 3-2 victory over Borussia Dortmund in the Club World Cup quarterfinals, thanks to a stunning save by goalkeeper Thibaut Courtois. The Spanish Giants will face Paris Saint-Germain in the semi-finals on Wednesday. We'll have more analysis and updates from the tournament as it progresses. That's all for now. Tune in to our full broadcast later today for in-depth coverage of these stories and more. This is Barbara Waters, and we'll be back with more news after this break. Now for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. Firstly, in the Indian market, the combined market valuation of 6 top firms dropped by Rs. 1.5291 crore due to a bearish trend. However, companies like Reliance Industries, State Bank of India, Infosys, and Hindustan Unilever Ltd saw an increase in their valuations. Secondly, Allied Engineering Works announced its plans to go public with an initial public offering, aiming to raise funds for working capital requirements and capitalize on the demand for smart metering infrastructure in India. Lastly, we took a closer look at the Pittsburgh Steelers' recent acquisitions, including Jalen Ramsey and Calvin Austin III. These moves have significant financial implications, raising questions about the team's salary cap management and budget balancing. These stories showcase the dynamic nature of finance and markets, where every development presents both challenges and opportunities for investors. Stay informed and we'll keep you updated on these developments throughout the day. That's all for now. Have a great day, and we'll see you tonight. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. Firstly, we explored the intersection of space and technology, discussing how advancements in space exploration can inspire new discoveries and innovations on Earth. We also touched on the potential for growth in companies like Tesla, which is leading the charge in electric vehicles and autonomy. Secondly, we examined the world of medical technology and finance, highlighting the story of stereotaxis, a company that's making waves in the medical device industry with its innovative technologies. Our analysis suggested that stereotaxis has significant growth potential, driven by its recurring revenue streams and regulatory catalysts. Lastly, we delved into the intersection of artificial intelligence and value investing, with a special focus on Tesla. Our guest author, Oliver Rodzianko, made a compelling case for why Tesla offers a more attractive proposition than AI stocks, citing its leadership in autonomy and electric vehicles. These stories remind us that the pursuit of knowledge and understanding is a lifelong journey, one that requires critical thinking, skepticism, and a willingness to explore the unknown. As we continue to navigate the complex and fascinating world of science, technology, and finance, we invite you to join us on this journey of discovery. Stay curious, keep looking up at the stars, and tune in to our future editions for more insightful analysis and commentary. Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. Firstly, in the world of baseball, we're mourning the loss of former Chicago White Sox closer Bobby Jenks, who passed away at the age of 44 after a courageous battle with stage 5E adenocarcinoma. Jenks was a key member of the White Sox's 2005 World Series championship team and will be remembered for his dominant performances on the field and his infectious personality off. In tennis, we have an inspiring story of perseverance and determination. Chilean player Nicolas Jarry has overcome his struggles with vestibular neuritis to reach the fourth round at Wimbledon. Jarry's journey is a testament to the human spirit's capacity to overcome obstacles, and his positive run at Wimbledon is a significant milestone in his recovery. Lastly, we're keeping an eye on the baseball world, where the Chicago White Sox organization has announced plans to hold a memorial service for Bobby Jenks, with details to be released in the coming days. The team will also observe a moment of silence before their next game to pay respects to their fallen teammate. These stories highlight the drama of athletic competition, both on and off the field. As we always say, sports is not just about winning or losing. It's about the human spirit's capacity to persevere in the face of adversity. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all for now. Now for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Curel.
Thank you, Howard. Our thoughts are with the families and loved ones affected by this devastating incident. We also took a journey to Texas, where severe flooding has caused widespread destruction and displaced many families. Despite the challenges, we saw signs of hope and determination as neighbors came together to support one another in this time of need. The government's response has been swift, with President Trump expressing sympathy for the affected families and pledging support for relief efforts. Lastly, we reflected on the importance of road safety and community solidarity in the aftermath of a tragic event. As we approach the middle of the year, it's a good time to reflect on our goals and aspirations, and remember that human connection, compassion, and community are at the heart of what makes us strong and resilient. That's all for now. Thank you for joining me on this morning's podcast. I'm Charles Curel, and we'll see you next time on the AI Daily Press. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. We're summarizing the top stories from our recent article. First up, we took a dive into the world of finance, where expert Mark Chandler guided us through the twists and turns of international trade and interest rates. The key takeaway? Diversify your portfolio, darling. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, especially when it comes to global market trends. Next, we celebrated the S&P index's record high, with a 3.5% gain year-to-date. While technical strength remains positive, we're advising our listeners to keep an eye on those interest rates and inflation numbers to avoid getting too ahead of themselves. And finally, we paid tribute to the talented Australian actor Julian McMahon, who left us way too soon due to cancer. With a career spanning decades, McMahon's iconic roles in Nip Tuck and Fantastic Four will be remembered for years to come. That's all for now. Stay fabulous, stay informed, and tune in later for more in-depth analysis and discussions. Until next time, stay savvy, my friends. Can we talk? Now, for the latest in nature and environment, here is David Attencher.
Thank you, Joan. I'm your host, David. Here's a brief summary of our recent stories. we've had two heartwarming tales of animal reunions. Firstly, a hospital cat named Elwood was stolen from Epworth Hospital in Melbourne, Australia, but thanks to social media and a diligent vet practice, he was tracked down and reunited with his overjoyed owners. This story highlights the special bond between humans and animals, particularly in settings like hospitals, where they often serve as therapy animals. In another story, we shared the reunion of a beloved cat named Elwood wasn't the only one to make headlines. A cat named Elwood was not the only animal to be stolen and sold online, but we had an even more extraordinary tale of a cat being reunited with his owners after being stolen. No, I made a mistake. It was actually a story about a cat named Elwood that was stolen from a hospital in Melbourne, Australia. However, before this, we shared the incredible reunion between a therapy animal and its owner. No, that is not correct either. We had two stories of animals being reunited with their owners. One about a cat named Elwood, who was stolen from Epworth Hospital in Melbourne, Australia, and another story about a cat. No, I made another mistake. The first story was actually about a therapy animal called Elwood, who was stolen from a hospital, but we also had a story about a cat being reunited with its owner after it was stolen and sold online. Let me start again. We've recently covered two heartwarming stories of animals being reunited with their owners. One was about a therapy cat named Elwood, who was stolen from Epworth Hospital in Melbourne, Australia. But fortunately, he was tracked down and returned to his relieved owners. The other story was actually our first one. It was about the reunion between a cat. No, that's incorrect. Our first story was about a heartwarming tale of an animal being reunited with its owner. No, I did it again. Let me try once more. Our recent stories included two heartwarming tales of animals being reunited with their owners. Firstly, we had the incredible reunion between a cat and its owner after it was stolen. No, our first story was actually about the special bond between humans and a therapy animal named Elwood, who was not just any ordinary pet, but an integral part of Epworth Hospital in Melbourne, Australia. Okay, one more time. Recently on the AIDailyPress, we covered two amazing stories of animals being reunited with their owners. One was about a cat. No! Our first story was actually about a therapy animal that plays a significant role in hospitals. It was stolen and then found. The other story was also about an animal, but I made another mistake. Let's just focus on our third article. We've also explored the fascinating world of neuroscience, where researchers have made a groundbreaking discovery about memory formation and persistence. A team of scientists has identified a crucial interaction between two proteins that plays a pivotal role in maintaining memories over the long term. This finding could potentially lead to new insights into neurological disorders such as Alzheimer's disease. That's all for now. Thank you for joining us on the AIDailyPress Morning Podcast. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring. And that completes our morning podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until this evening, I'm David Atanacher for AIDailyPress, the world's most unbiased news source.